The United States has presented a draft UN Security Council resolution supporting President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, which includes establishing an international stabilization force to secure Gaza during Israel's withdrawal. U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Mike Waltz, shared the proposal with Security Council members and key regional partners, including Egypt, Qatar, the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey. The resolution endorses a board of peace, a transitional governing body for Gaza that Trump would chair, and authorizes the ISF to help implement the ceasefire reached on October the 10th between Israel and Hamas. Diplomatic sources say several countries are willing to contribute troops, but seek a UN mandate before deployment. Later phases of the plan envision Hamas disarmament, reconstruction, and a full Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. Okay, of course, this comes after the ceasefire implementation on October the 10th. Of course, we are now currently in the first phase of that ceasefire, with the second phase looking to be implemented very soon. Of course, the US brokered ceasefire deal, which long envisions a complete Hamas disarmament, a reconstruction of the Gaza Strip, and a full Israeli withdrawal. Now, of course, this includes an international peacekeeping force from which countries are yet to be decided. Israel has said that it wants to dictate the countries. Countries that have offered troops, of course, involve the likes of Azerbaijan, Turkey, among many others, but there is still speculation of who is going to supply that international peacekeeping force. Of course, violence has continued since the ceasefire began on October the 10th, with over 200 Palestinians being killed by targeted Israeli strikes since that truce came into effect, and of course reported attacks of Israeli soldiers from Hamas and other groups within the Gaza Strip. Both sides, of course, cite violations, but we wait in anticipation for that second stage of that US proposed ceasefire agreement to be finalized and then implemented. Okay, now joining us is Major General Dr. Rajan Kochhar. He's a senior strategic and defense expert, and he joins us live once again from New Delhi. Dr. Kochhar, of course, the United States has now presented this draft UN Security Council resolution, which includes establishing this international stabilization force in Gaza to secure Gaza during Israel's withdrawal. Of course, what are your views on how this second stage might move forward, and this international stabilization force which could move in, and what success might it have?
Thank you very much, Thomas. I'll take you back to Sharm el-Sheikh, where this meeting was held, and United States Secretary General was also there. So I think it's a precursor to that meeting, and what was decided at that meeting at that point of a time, that as per the 20-point peace plan of Donald Trump, international stabilizing force is to be established, and I am glad that things are moving in that direction. Now the success of this force, which largely depend upon Israel's basic attitude, because first of all, Israel has to accept the composition of the force. One is hearing that Pakistan Army is also being considered as part of the international stabilizing force. So two things are there. The Hamas also have to be in agreement of the composition of the stabilizing force, as well as Israel. So that would be one important area which the United Nations would have to go into to keep such players who are perceived to be neutral. Because it's very important here, the international stabilizing force has a very great mandate to play here. Because the situation has been aggravated a lot there, and because of the Israel devastation of
Yes.
that area, as well as chances of clashes between the Hamas and the Israel, because we don't know uh, how much demilitarization can take place, because the international stabilizing force would also be required to disarm the Hamas. So whatever weapons Hamas is having, they would have to surrender these weapons to the international stabilizing force. So that would be a very important area, because I just heard a couple of days back one of the factions of Hamas was saying that we are not going to give up our weapons. So that'll be a great challenge, I feel. But I feel that I presume that this is a step in the right direction.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much. Do stay with us. We have further updates, this time coming out of the United States. And Zoran Mamdani's victory in New York's mayoral election has